Don't forget to hit up Rose NBA on Twitter. This man will grind it out for you. He'll do your spotlight sims and your 12 and O's. Whatever you need, he's got it. What is good, YouTube? And welcome back to a brand new video. And today we haven't done a Pistons rebuild in like 3 weeks, so I thought today we could do one where we actually trade Jerami Grant and kind of center the video around that. Now, I do have to say, there was an article today about Luka Doncic possibly leaving the Mavericks, and I was like, maybe I should do a Mavericks rebuild where Luka Doncic leaves. Then I was like, how would that even make that work? Like, I guess Luka signs the Supermax and gets traded, but like, dude, to be honest, like that article sounded like a bunch of BS. Luka's not going to go anywhere. I know a lot of people are making videos about it, and I thought about it, but I'm just like, man, it literally makes no sense. Like, the Mavericks are not going to let Luka go anywhere. Like, I don't care if Luka wants out. Mark Cuban is not trading him. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I even wore a Luka shirt because I was like, hey, maybe I should do this video. Then I just kept thinking to myself, nah, it sounds like fake news, and I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to buy into that fake stuff. So but other than that, guys, I do want to thank you guys so much for the support lately. It's been absolutely freaking amazing. You guys' support has been awesome. And other than that, man, let's just go ahead and drop a like on this video, show some even more support, and also subscribe if you haven't already. 6% of you watch this video aren't even subbed, and we're super duper close to 18,000 subs. So if we can reach 18k before this month is over, I'd be ecstatic with that, but I'm not sure you guys can do that. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this video. Let's trade Jerami Grant. We already did a Jerami Grant trade. We'll go over it, and then we'll go ahead and start rebuilding the Pistons. So since we mostly talked about Luka Doncic and the Mavericks in the intro, I kind of want to talk about Jerami Grant and the Pistons now, because obviously that's what we're doing today. So the Pistons, I don't think they're going to be trading Jerami Grant this offseason. I think they should consider it, but I can understand why they maybe won't, just because they feel like they just like him here. But honestly, I think his trade value is going to be very, very good this offseason for a team that might be desperate enough to get him. So I feel like the Pistons should definitely look. I mean, they should look around and see if there is a good trade for them. And honestly, I found this trade online, and I thought it made a lot of sense. So it seems like the Washington Wizards and Jerami Grant, I guess Jerami Grant had interest in the Wizards, maybe because he used to play with Russell Westbrook or whatever, and then he could be kind of the third guy there, and that would be awesome for them. So that's kind of what the trade I did. So this was the trade that we did that landed Jerami Grant over to the Washington Wizards. That way the Wizards get themselves a third guy with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. That way the Wizards are a better roster on paper. So this was the trade. It was Jerami Grant for Denny Avdia, Davis Bertans, because Bertans had to be thrown in there because obviously to match the salary. And we get a 2021 pick, their 21 pick, which is like the 15th pick in the draft, and a second round pick, which I believe is the Pistons' own second round pick. So this is actually a trade I got online. So just so you guys know, this wasn't actually my trade, but I thought it was a decent one. So the Pistons essentially got Avdia and a first and a second for Jerami Grant. So they got a very young player that could be promising, and they got a 15th pick, so you can draft another good player right outside of the lottery and a second round pick. So I thought this was a fair trade for all parties. The Wizards get themselves the third star, and the Washington Wizards the Pistons find value for a guy like Jerami Grant, who's been awesome for them. And then we go ahead and start rebuilding the Detroit Pistons like I wanted to. So with this going on, we also have future draft picks right now. We also have the second pick in this draft, and we also have the 15th pick. So 2 picks in this draft, one right outside of the lottery. So it looks good and looks promising for this Pistons future. So as far as the head coach, I think if I remember correctly, they extended Dwayne Casey. So looks like his coaching staff will not be going anywhere. Although, who will be going somewhere is the trainer, because I want a better trainer, of course, for them 2 training camps. Getting 3 is not an option this offseason, unfortunately. So yeah, we're just gonna go straight into the NBA draft. I guess I can kind of see if there's anybody else I want to trade. I definitely want to trade Mason Plumlee as well. It's just a matter of I don't know who else, or I don't know who's gonna take on Mason Plumlee. I mean, I'm sure some team like a backup center, like the Portland Trailblazers could use a guy like him, just be that backup center whenever, maybe if they do keep Nurkic around, he'd be at least a better defender than Enes Kanter out there. So but I might just end up hanging on Mason Plumlee at the end of the day. I'm not sure, but I'll look around the league real quick just to kind of see if there's an interesting trade that I might be willing to take on. Let's see. Honestly, like I said, the Blazers seem the most interesting to me, but they want to give me Robert Covington, which I don't think they would do, obviously. So we're just going to leave Mason Plumlee here for now. So let's just go ahead and jump into this draft and kind of see who goes number 1. And then obviously we'll draft whoever is number 2. So number 1, we're going to have Cade Cunningham going number 1 to the Houston Rockets. Makes a lot of sense. So number 2, we can either choose between Jalen Green or Jalen Suggs. To be honest with you, I kind of want to take Jalen Green here. That's just what I'm feeling right now. So Jalen Green makes sense to me, because when you look at our roster right now, shooting guard wise, we have Killian Hayes, we have Josh Jackson, but I feel like Jalen Green would be a really good pick here. So that's who I'm going to take. I'm going to be taking Jalen Green. I also could take Jaden Springer, but I'm taking Jalen Green here 1000%. With this second pick in the draft, I feel like that's a very good pick. And then we'll go to this 15th pick because we still have another opportunity to fill out the roster even more. So we also have Davion Mitchell. You have Keon Johnson here at that small forward spot. John Juzang, Nashawn Nix, Cam Thomas, so Jeremy Robinson Earl. I think I'll take Keon Johnson here, who is 6'5", so we can kind of figure out what to do with him. And we kind of have an interesting rotational forward spot because we do have quite a few forwards, but we'll figure it out. So David Duke, Kofi Cockburn, I can take a big man here. That's totally fine. And I think that's all we have. So at number 2, we got an 80 overall Jalen Green. At number, we could have taken Jalen Suggs as well, but I just felt like getting Killian Hayes, the key to the point guard spot's fine. And I believe I've always drafted Jalen Suggs or Cade Cunningham whenever I do a Pistons rebuild, so it's nice to mix it up. And at number 15, we also got Keon Johnson at the small forward spot. So honestly, I feel pretty good coming out of the draft. As far as the second rounder is concerned, we'll figure that out. So he was a 75 overall. We also got David Duke and Aaron Wiggins. So these are all guys I'm definitely interested in bringing into this Pistons organization. It looks like we don't have enough room for everybody, though. Would have too many players on the main roster. Please resolve before continuing. So we're going to have to open up a roster spot, which would lead me to think trading Mason Plumlee here would make sense to open up a roster spot, but I got to figure out, who could take on Mason Plumlee's salary and just kind of, soak it in, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal because I can't take someone back, of course, in return. So the Miami Heat, Derek Favors and from Utah, they can't take him, right? No, they cannot. Okay, so let me just keep looking. Chicago showed up as a team that might be able to. What about the Suns? I mean, they don't have to necessarily give me a pick. What if they just give me like 2 seconds for like a center that could be really nice off their bench? So, all right, so we get 2 seconds for Mason Plumlee. We open up a roster spot in order to sign Aaron Wiggins, all of our second rounders. Now, actually, no, we don't. We have too many players on the main roster. Please resolve before continuing. So I guess the only last thing to do was to release this guy, I guess, to open up, the spots. All right, boom. So we got all of our second rounders coming in now. Corey Joseph, I'm going to be declining. Rodney McGruder, I'm going to decline. Tyler Cook, sure. And then qualifying offers, Dennis Smith Jr., Saban Lee, and Hamdou Diallo are all free agents. If they all want to come back, sure. Saban Lee is somebody I do want to see back. I know he had some bright spots. As far as Dennis Smith Jr. is concerned, I'm not too sure about. But looking at our roster right now, so we have Killian Hayes and David Duke. So David Duke is second rounder. That definitely could be promising. Jalen Green and Josh Jackson, I love that. We have Sadiq Bey, who's at the small forward spot, with Keon Johnson, Deni Avdija, and Aaron Wiggins. So we have a big log jam here at the small forward spot, which is a good problem to have for a rebuilding team that's trying to figure it out. Suka Naboya at the 5, and then we have Isaiah Stewart, Phil Okafor, and Kofi Cockburn. So obviously this team's going to suck, which is fine. Not too worried about trying to be good this next season. Detroit is not a free agency destination other than, I guess they did get Jerami Grant, so that was good for them. But other than that, players aren't lining up to, go sign to Detroit. So I don't think I'm going to be doing anything too crazy in this free agency offseason. So I honestly might just wait for literally no one, to be honest. I might just roll forward with what we got. I guess I could, Hamdou Diallo actually would be nice to have back for sure. Just because they did trade Svi Mikhailiuk for him. So Hamdou Diallo, being 23 years old, he did have some bright spots for the Pistons. So I'd like to see him back. And then I would love to see Dennis Smith Jr. I would love to see all of our restricted free agents come back, if I'm honest with you. So let's go ahead and sign. Hamdou Diallo actually got a contract from the Suns. It's just a 1-year deal. I'm going to go ahead and match it. Saban Lee comes back and Dennis Smith Jr. comes back. So we have a lot of young players, obviously. A lot of young players here. And we're going to see which one kind of rises to the occasion. So that's kind of the plan here. So we're going to go ahead and summary season number 1. Obviously, this team is going to be total garbage, but it's fine. I definitely just kind of want to see who's going to kind of break out and who's going to be the players we build around. Obviously, we have a lot of young players, so eventually we could trade some guys and make some, big moves for some other guys. So Jalen Green is up to an A. I think I'm going to throw this one at Killian Hayes just because he can become very good for us. And then I'll throw the other one probably at Deni Avdija, who we traded for. So Deni Avdija, when we look at our rotation, I'm definitely curious and interested to see kind of what it looks like. So rotational wise, we got 9-man rotation. We have Killian Hayes, Jalen Green, Keon Johnson actually at the small forward spot, which is fine. Suka Naboya, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, Davis Bertans, Hamdou Diallo, and Deni Avdija. So, yeah, a lot going on. I'll probably run a 10-man rotation. So, Josh Jackson not getting any minutes is a little unfortunate just because I feel like he definitely had some really good spots for the Pistons team, or for this Pistons team. So, yeah, but there's a lot of guys not getting minutes right now, to be honest with you. So,
That's definitely something I kind of want to, address at the trade deadline. I feel like Josh Jackson can offer more to a team than what we're kind of offering him. So, Josh Jackson being 24 years old, he's making $5 million right now. If there's not going to be enough space for him on the roster, maybe I just kind of free him right now. Although I feel like Detroit would like to have this guy, but if I could get something for him and he could get an opportunity somewhere else, that would probably just be the best ideal situation for us all. So, the Knicks. Getting Josh Jackson could be interesting for them. Jake Layman from the Timberwolves, and he just kind of sits and rots on our bench. We get a second-round pick for Josh Jackson. And then there's DJ Stewart from the Washington Wizards. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I guess I'll get a second for Josh Jackson since he's not going to be in rotation anyway. That'd probably make him unhappy, so he'd probably want to go play somewhere else. So, boom. That's taken care of, and now we can go ahead and simulate this season. Kind of see how things go. Hopefully, this team can just be, interesting every night. I don't expect anybody to... we're not going to make the playoffs, obviously. As far as shot tendency are concerned, we have Sadiq Bey sitting at 59, Isaiah Stewart 79, Jalen Green 85, Kevin Hayes 79. Okay, I'm cool with that. We're going to go ahead and so at the end of the season. Enough talking from me. Let's see how we do. Figured we would be. We were completely trash, and the Phoenix Suns go on to win the championship, which, hey, that's a very big possibility this season. And Milwaukee and Philadelphia kind of have a window of opportunity as well, but Phoenix has been playing great lately, so who knows, man? I don't know. The Suns might be able to win it all this year. They eliminated the Lakers, the unhealthy Lakers, obviously, but Clippers have been showing us that they're not the greatest team in the world. I mean, they should be beating teams, better than they are. They're going down 0-2, then to come back. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel like the Western Conference is wide open, obviously, right now. But as far as the stats, I didn't get to show that. So player stats for this roster, we had 20. We had 23 from Jalen Green, which is nice. So definitely awesome to see your top pick in the draft go off. So Kevin Hayes with 13, Isaiah Stewart 13, 13 from Sadiq Bey, 11 from Davis Bertans. Obviously Bertans, got an opportunity here. He was not that great in Washington at times, so he obviously is somebody we're not, we're not trying to keep this guy long term, but maybe we could flip him into something one day. He did score 11 points on amazing efficiency, so maybe a contending team that might be able to fit his salary would be interested, but I don't know. Keon Johnson with 10, and then Abdia with 8, and Habdiallah with 8. Okay, so let's get into this offseason. So as far as the draft lottery is concerned, I believe for some reason 2K has it to where, if I'm not mistaken, where, yeah, right now we don't have our pick, but that's actually not true. The Detroit Pistons pick is like protected. I even researched it real quick. So let's go ahead and see if that happens. So, yeah, the Rockets end up having our pick at number 5. I don't know why, is when you're projected the number 1 pick, you fall all the way down to number 5. That's actually really annoying because, having the 5th pick here would be really, really nice right now. But unfortunately, or having the 1st pick would be really nice right now. But unfortunately, 2K has it to where we fall in the lottery badly, and also where we don't have our draft pick. So, like I said, I don't think that's correct, actually. I believe the Pistons do on their pick. If I look on this website right now, it is basketball.realgm.com. It says 2022, 1 through 16, they own it. And if it goes through 17 through 30, then the Rockets own it. So we should have this pick. Just want to, clear that up. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure we have that draft pick. Then we'll jump into the draft and kind of see where we're going to grab at number 5. So with this 5th pick, we do need our power forward situation to address. So I see Patrick Baldwin. I see Brandon Huntley, Hatfield. I believe Patrick Baldwin's a pretty good power forward. If I make a mistake here, I unfortunately just don't watch enough college basketball to know. So hopefully that wasn't a bad pick. And if it was, I apologize. So Terrence Shannon, Avery Anderson, Trey Murphy, Brian Antoine. I know for a fact we don't really need more guards. We have enough there. So Terrence Shannon, I see Jamin Brakefield in the 2nd round. So sure, why not? So we're going to 70 on that. And on that, we got a 79 overall power forward out of Patrick Baldwin. I honestly was thinking about drafting Brandon Huntley Hatfield. He was an 80 overall. Okay, so I mean, I guess I didn't take too much of an L there. So with that being said, out of the draft, we got Baldwin, we got Brakefield, and we got Maker. So we're gonna sign all those guys. We're gonna accept all of our team options, of course. We have a lot of them. And qualifying offers, we have Hamdi Diallo, and then here is free agency ahead of us. So as far as free agents are concerned, we have Hamdi Diallo, Dennis Smith Jr., Okafor, Layman, but not sure we're too concerned about any of those guys. Killian Hayes, David Duke at the point guard spot still. Jalen Green at the shooting guard. We have Sadiq Bey, Keon Johnson, Danny Avdia, Sugan Mboya, Bertans, Baldwin, Damon Brakefield, and then Isaiah Stewart and Kofi Cockburn. So obviously, this team still isn't that great. But hey, honestly, with the amount of depth that we have, it almost makes me kind of want to look around the league for a young star that might be kind of upset right now with his team, and see if we can kind of make an offer to someone. So, you know, who that would be, I don't know. But I kind of want to look just in case to see if there is something like that that exists out there. So, because you never know, man. You never know. So, as far as the Clippers, they sucked, but Paul George coming here wouldn't make any sense right now. The Grizzlies are good, so the Atlanta Hawks definitely weren't that great. We see a guy like John Collins, you know, who's been in trade rumors before. Him at the power forward spot could definitely be interesting with us. So, I kind of like the idea of maybe reaching out to Atlanta to see if they would like to see a guy like John Collins traded and maybe get assets for him. So honestly, we could maybe throw an offer at them. The Hornets, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, nothing crazy like that. So John Collins is definitely standing out to me right now. Jonathan Isaac from the Magic, and the Magic are kind of rebuilding themselves. All right, so let's go to the Atlanta Hawks, and honestly, I think we could definitely make an offer. So Atlanta was very bad. They didn't make the playoffs, which is a team they should. So he's 24 years old. We would definitely take him and be happy with it. So I will have a lot to offer as well. So I can obviously offer Davis Bertans big salary to kind of make the money work. So Davis Bertans, because we don't really want him anymore. So then we could also offer, let's say, what is something they could maybe need right now? We could offer, like, we could definitely offer one of our small forwards up because we don't need them all. So Denny Avdia is somebody who could offer. We could offer Keon Johnson. We could also offer Zeke Bay. Let's see. What do I want to offer? Keon Johnson just came off a really, 11-point year, 32% from the field. Sadiq Bey, 12 points, 44%. They'd probably want Sadiq Bey more than Keon Johnson. There's also Dina Dia as well, who shot 34%. So they're probably going to want Sadiq Bey out of all these guys, to be honest with you. So, you know, Davis Bertans, Sadiq Bey, and maybe like a future pick or something like in 2026 for John Collins. So John Collins comes over to Detroit. We kind of have a small forward spot, and then we get John Collins. And no, they don't agree actually just yet. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and also throw them. I could throw them. Let's see. Do I have a power forward? Okay, I'm trading power forward, right? Okay, maybe I trade Brakefield as well, and they agree now. Okay, boom. So we got John Collins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. So we kind of rounded up the rotation there, which is nice. So John Collins coming in at 24 years old to kind of fit the mold of this roster is definitely interesting. Honestly, we could use a bigger size center as well, because Isaiah Stewart being 6'8", undersized isn't necessarily ideal. So maybe a center would be somebody we should kind of take a look at this offseason. So for our centers that might be interesting to have here, DeAndre Ayton, obviously. Wouldn't mind grabbing DeAndre Ayton from the Suns, but they're probably going to want him back. They just came off a championship, so don't imagine they would just let him go. Mitch Robinson at 7 foot could be interesting. Wendell Carter Jr., 6'10", could also be somebody that could make some sense. So Mitch Robinson, Wendell Carter are guys that stand out to me right now. So I'm going to go ahead and throw Mitch Robinson an offer. I don't want to offer him too much money, but unfortunately in 2K, he just always is asking for too much. So DeAndre Ayton, I'm going to try to sign DeAndre Ayton real quick, and they match, obviously. So instead, I'll just grab Mitchell Robinson, and we'll just roll with that. So Mitchell Robinson, so we needed a big man, so I'm going to grab Mitchell Robinson, sign him, and boom, just like that, we have a new found rotation for this next season. So let's go ahead and simulate season number 2, see if we can finally get this team into the playoffs, and we'll be big chilling. Here we finished as the 2nd seed in the East. So just like that, you know, the Pistons the last couple of times they made the playoffs, obviously kind of the bottom of the barrel in the playoffs. They were always the 8th seed going up against LeBron James, and they just always got eliminated. Or I guess they faced Giannis once as well. But now you get to play the Milwaukee Bucks, which isn't, you know, a good side, obviously. But 28 points from Jalen Green, becoming a real star in this league. 18 points from Killian Hayes, 15 from Keon Johnson, John Collins with 15, Isaiah Stewart with 14, Baldwin 13.5. So obviously, rotation really did an awesome job. So Mitch Robinson coming in as well. I feel like, obviously, you know, ideally, I don't think Mitch Robinson's going to get this much money in real life, but he just always asks for that much in 2K. Detroit usually has to overpay for free agents anyway, just because Detroit's not a free agency destination. But regardless, I'm happy with how it went this year. But unfortunately, we have Milwaukee on the horizon, and yeah, you just never know, man. You know, I could honestly see us getting swept here from Milwaukee. I could also see us beating them pretty easily. Let's see what happens. Somebody current round, and what did I literally just said I could see us getting swept because we're playing Giannis Antetokounmpo. So even as a 2nd seed, it doesn't matter. We still just suck. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess, you know what? Honestly, there's not much else to do. I kind of just want to run it back. I'm just going to run it back one more time because honestly, I don't want to end a video on getting swept like that. That's just really annoying. So I'm just going to go ahead and summon another year with more player progression under these guys' belt. And hopefully this time, you know, we don't get swept by a lower seed. But I told you it was going to happen. Top seed in the Eastern Conference, this time as the first seed. 23 points from Jalen Green, 21 from Killian Hayes, 20 from Baldwin, 16 from Collins, 15 from Keon Johnson. I mean, to be honest, guys, if we get swept again, you know, by the lower seed, we do have to face Trae Young and James Harden, who both somehow ended up in Chicago. I'm not going to pretend to announce this guy's name because I wouldn't even tell you. I wouldn't know how. So, if we lose in the first round again, man, sure. I mean, GG's. I guess it is what it is. But this time, unfortunately, we do end up beating the 8th seeded Chicago Bulls. But now we get to play the Miami Heat, who are a very talented roster as well. Kyle Lowry, and they have Mikal Bridges coming off their bench. Somebody current round against Miami. And we lose in 6 games. So, unfortunately, we're not going to win a championship with this Pistons roster, it looks like. Even when we're really good in the regular season, 2K just hates me. And we unfortunately lose in the second round to the Miami Heat. So, that's going to end it off for me, though. Honestly, what do you guys think about a Jerami Grant possibility of him being traded this offseason? And also, if you guys did stick around, let me know what you guys think of the Luka Doncic situation. Personally, I think it's just all BS. Nothing's going to happen of it. Nothing's going to come of it. He's going to be in Dallas for a long time. And that's all that matters. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.